There are moments in life where we feel or are made to feel, well, useless. Almost like we're just, taking up space and we shouldn't really be there. And it really makes us, question, our values, our purpose, and whether we should be there at all. And in the end, it just kind of feels like we're, kind of drifting, not really wanted, not really sure where we fit in. Maybe you feel that no matter how hard you try or no matter what you do, people just don't seem to notice your efforts. It just always feels like it's just not enough because, you never really get like a, oh, good job, well done for doing that. That's a good idea. Or a simple thank you. You don't really tend to get those. So even though the things that you're doing and the actions you're taking might mean quite a lot to you, but to others or just a certain someone, they just kind of feel like they're just there and that's it. They don't have really any significant depth or meaning to them. And that can really mess with you a little bit because after a while of getting those types of responses, it really makes you question, your values or who you are as a person because, well, do they actually mean anything? But what if I told you that the feeling of, uselessness isn't universal and that things that are made to feel useless in one place could quite literally be priceless in another? So let's take a water bottle, for example. There's, nothing special about it, right? It is just a water bottle. And once you finish with it, you might not actually going to throw it in a bin and just forget about it. However, something as simple as a water bottle can have different value depending on where it is. Because if you go to your local supermarket, a water bottle might be worth, £1. If you go to the gym, that exact same water bottle might be worth £2.50. At an airport, it might be worth £4. And on a desert island, well, I'd say that would be pretty priceless. The bottle, what it holds, the thing itself didn't change. The only thing that changed is the surroundings. So the perspective around the water bottle changed because of where it was located. And I know we can't compare ourselves to water bottles, but I do believe that the concept does apply because in some circles, whether that's friends or some jobs, certain teams, your worth and your value might be measured in the sheer amount of hours you put into something. It's just simply just numbers to them. But elsewhere, they might simply value your creativity, your way of thinking outside the box, your willingness to help other people. So the way you do things will have a different impact depending on where it is. The things that you do, the talents that you have, the things that you bring to the table are quite literally going to be worth so much more in the right place because depending on where you are, they are going to be perceived completely differently. That's why a single opinion of someone or a company or your manager, whatever, cannot shape who you are. It just can't because there is so much more depth to you that maybe you just haven't tapped into and unleashed because you haven't been allowed to, because you're not in the right place. Oftentimes, people's abilities, talents, their quirks, they're dampened and quite literally squished down because of where they are, not because of what they do. Because when you're surrounded by the wrong people, it's quite easy to feel, invisible, like you don't matter, like your struggles don't mean anything, like your worries just might as well just sweep them under the rug. And you kind of just ask yourself, am I just another face in the crowd, really? But just think about what would happen if you removed yourself from that environment and placed yourself in an environment where you're allowed to thrive, where you're allowed to express, where you're allowed to just be. Because there is always going to be a place where your specific passions, your unique talents, and your little personal quirks are exactly what someone or a company or a team is looking for. So instead of trying to change and alter yourself for the people that you're surrounded about now, change those people and change the environment and take yourself elsewhere. And suddenly you might no longer feel, invisible. All of a sudden, you're actually invaluable because worth is never static. It's never just a straight line. It completely shifts depending on the context and where you are and what you're doing and who you're surrounded with. Because one little gesture from you, one little idea, a sentence might quite literally be the difference between someone's awful, terrible day and a breakthrough. And it'll be all thanks to you, what you did, what you said. Obviously, that's not going to be the case every time. Absolutely not. It's not possible to always say the right thing and be surrounded by the right people. But if you remove yourself from an environment where your small gestures and the things that you say always go unnoticed, they never really mean anything, then at least there'll be a chance that what you're doing and saying will have a positive impact and it won't just disappear for nothing. Because the things that you've been made to believe that might as well just be brushed aside might actually be the missing piece that someone is searching for. Your talents might be what someone's company needs, that they're on the lookout for, but because of where you are, you've been made to believe that you just need to suppress them and just forget about them, when in reality they are quite literally a game changer elsewhere. So next time you feel useless or worthless or like you shouldn't be there, well, you have every right to move, to change, to put yourself elsewhere, because what might feel useless right now might mean everything to somebody else. You are not useless. Everywhere you go, your worth is just waiting to be seen.